So welcome back to this fourth lesson in change dynamics. On this lesson we are going to go to the second variable. If you remember, the first variable we spoke about that would cause resistance is your thinking, depending on how negative your thinking is. While the next variable we look at is the F in resistance. And the F in resistance stands for your feelings. You know, there's a law that we've all heard a lot of called the law of attraction. But the truth is that law of attraction is actually built on a more powerful law, which is called the law of vibration. And this states that everything in the universe around us vibrates on whatever frequency. The desk that you're sitting, maybe watching this on, has a vibration. The computer you're watching this through, or the cell phone you're using to watch this, has a vibration. And in the same way, your body has a vibration. And we are consciously aware of our vibration all the time, but we don't call it the vibration. So, as an example, if somebody had to ask you, how are you today? You would never say, I'm consciously aware of the fact that I'm vibrating at a very high level, or I'm consciously aware of the fact that I'm vibrating at a much lower level than yesterday. No, we have a word for this, and the word for our conscious appreciation of our state of vibration is feelings. So when your vibration is high, you say, I'm feeling great, I'm feeling happy. When your vibration is low, you say, I'm feeling sad, or I'm not feeling so great. So to understand your vibration, there's been a lot of research done into this. And I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but there's a vibrational scale that is called the Hertz vibrational scale. And the Hertz vibrational scale has actually been measured how we vibrate when we are in different emotions. If you take a look at this, it goes from the absolute very lowest vibration, which is shame and guilt and fear and anger, to your higher levels of vibration, enlightenment, love, fulfillment. So as you measure yourself in this specific area now, go and use this Hertz vibrational scale to sort of measure and be authentic with yourself, how you feel about this topic that you are attempting to change. So what I invite you to do is to really go in and examine how you feel about this specific area that you want to change. And you will see the 3 questions for you to answer, the 3 sliders at the bottom of this page. And there's 3 areas that you're going to measure. And whereas in the thinking, we spoke about the specific area that you are working on changing, and then we went into the general area. This we are talking specifically about the area you are attempting to change. So whether it's your finances, your health, your relationship, your job, whatever it is that you're attempting to change. And the first area to measure yourself in is, how big is this change? In other words, what is the size, if you had to put this change as a sort of a goal to make more money, a goal to be healthier, a goal to have better relationships? How big is this goal for you? Now, on a further lesson, we will talk about the size of goals, but right now, just go and measure, and what you must realize is that the bigger the goal is, the bigger this change is, the more resistance there's going to be in terms of how you feel about it. So in rating yourself in this area, what you will say is that if you feel the goal and the change is actually very small and it's very doable and you feel that it can be done quite easily, then you will rate yourself closer to a 1 out of 10. But if you feel that this goal is actually a very big goal, a very scary goal, then you will rate yourself closer to a 10 out of 10 in terms of how big this goal of change is for you. Then you will see the second area to go and rate yourself, also on a scale of 1 to 10, is how much fear do you feel when you think about achieving this goal? One of the great leaders here in South Africa, Nelson Mandela, he was quoted as saying, we are more likely to fear the greatness that is within us than failure. And it's so true for so many people. Does the possibility of achieving this and creating this change actually create fear? Or another level of fear you can look at is does the work that you need to put in, the sacrifices that you're going to need to make, does that create a level of fear for you? So think about this and go and rate yourself from a 1 to a 10 in that area of fear. From 1 being you have no fear at all when you think about working on this change, when you think about creating this change, to a 10 out of 10 being I'm so fearful that I almost cannot move when I think about actually creating this change in my life. And then the final area, the third area, really has to do with what creates, for many of us, the fear in the first place. And that is looking at your experience in this area. And I will use the example of money. Have you ever had bad experiences when it comes to money in your life? If so, you're going to find that the resistance towards working on the money is very, very great. And when the resistance is great, you will find yourself doing everything except what you need to do. In the area of money, it was statistically very interesting to me to find out that most people spend more time per year working out their holiday plans and where they're going to go on vacation than they spend in 5 years working on their finances. So why is that, and why are people so afraid? And the same could be with your body, the same could be with your relationships, with your business. Have you had bad experiences in the past? If so, in this area scored from 1 to 10, it'll probably be closer to a 10 because those negative experiences will cause a lot of resistance within you. If not you personally, then the second way to look at this is, has somebody that you know personally, and the closer you are to that person, the more real it will be. Has somebody that you know personally had bad experiences in this area? I'll take again the example of finances. Maybe you have been fairly comfortable so far with your finances, but what if you grew up and your parents were always struggling? You found your father lost all his money maybe in his business, or lost all his money maybe in a deal that went bad. That experience and that emotional hurt that you feel through your parents will also bring a high level of resistance when it comes to your feeling about working specifically in this area. So then again, you would rate it closer to a 5, 6, or 7 if it wasn't you personally that experienced it, but rather somebody that you know and that you cared about. The closer, again, I say they are to you, the higher the level and the resistance it will be in terms of your feeling. So go and rate yourself in this area from a 1 being I have absolutely never had a bad experience in this area, to a 10 being I've had a very personal bad experience, and in between I've known somebody close to me that's had a very bad experience in attempting to change this area. And remember, once again, when you are measuring, when you are rating yourself in these areas, go back to the Hertz diagram. Go and use that as an indication of how you currently feel. And I'm sure when you look at that, we'll take, for example, the lowest vibration of shame. How many people are so shameful about their financial situation that they hide it from everybody, but even further, they hide the truth from themselves. And that means they can never improve on that because they're always hiding from the truth. And as Roger James Hamilton says so often, and it's so true, in order to get to where you're going, you first need to be authentic and honest about where you currently are. But what happens is, because we have so much shame, so much guilt, so much fear around the area, we actually hide the truth from ourselves and we never seem to get ahead. And then we come up with all kinds of reasons, which we will speak about in the next lesson, why we don't attempt or continue working on creating the change. So go through all of this, rate yourself, again the reminder, as authentically as you possibly can, and then we'll see you on the next lesson where we'll delve into the next variable.